Hello, and a solemn Monday morning to you from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. It's June 6th. It's D-Day. 78 years ago, Americans and their allies displayed unfathomable courage on the beaches at Normandy. Unbelievable courage. Mind-blowing courage. I will tell you briefly that I have had the solemn honor of speaking with and interviewing probably a dozen of those brave men, none of whom is with us any longer. And the stories they told, this is indelicate, but think about this. Of all the horrors they faced, every single one of them told me the first thing you had to deal with was the fact that you were knee-deep in vomit in the landing boats. Unfathomable courage. Unfathomable sacrifice, unbelievable dedication, not to a flag, not to an anthem, but to principles. And almost 8 decades later, here we are just completely urinating on those values, completely selling them out. And what we're seeing is now not unfathomable courage, it is unfathomable cowardice. It is cowardice. Cowards are people who know what needs to be done, know what the problem is, but they fail to address it. And real cowards are the ones that stick their heads in the sand and ignore it to begin with. And we comfort ourselves that, well, despite our problems, we're still the greatest country on earth. No, currently we're not. We're not even close. We suck. We suck across the full suck spectrum right now. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Well, if you feel that way, Alexander, why don't you leave? No! Are you kidding? When you love something, you want to fix it and protect it. This is my home. This is my country. I'm not going anywhere. And unlike many of you, I don't need a 15-foot phallic gun to protect this house. Nobody's saying that guns are the entire problem. But to deny that guns are a component here, you can't have one without the other. You can't really have gun violence without guns, can you? So to pretend that that's got nothing to do with this, and still you won't do it. Societies are evaluated by how they protect their citizens, and especially their children. We have completely failed our children. Societies are also evaluated in how much they protect their citizenry and what they value. And here's what we value. And this is not over the top. This is quantifiable. This is literal. This is statistical. We value guns more than we value children. You can't take issue with that. There are dead bodies to prove it. Unbelievable. And this is a singular American problem. And we act like it's not a problem. You want numbers? You want facts? This is the 155th day of the year. We have had 247 mass shootings already. You do the ratio. Since Friday as in Friday, we've had 10. Since Uvalde, 13 days ago, we've had 33. And still you act like it's no problem. Because your values are such that you literally love your gun more than you love not only our kids, but your kids. And this is what passes for logic with many of you. Well, we can't eliminate all of these. No, we can't. You're exactly right. Does that mean we can't reduce the number? Well, you can't legislate them around. Well, absolutely right. But there are common sense things we can do that violate nobody's rights and do not violate the Second Amendment, and we just refuse to do them because many of you, I'm going to say it, are sexually attracted to your guns. And here's the thing, you want to portray yourselves as heroes and patriots, and especially tough guys. You're rainbows. Let me explain my reasoning there. What does a rainbow do? A rainbow bends and distorts light, which is the equivalent of distorting truth, but then wraps that distortion in pretty colors. But when you investigate, what you find is with a rainbow, there's really no there. 78 years ago, D-Day. We need another D-Day invasion. D-Day meaning Dignity Day. D-Day meaning Decency Day. You have to figure out what you value and what you don't. And right now, it is pretty apparent. I do want to call your attention to one other thing. Later today, we're going to drop a brand new podcast on something we need to be reminded of. We're talking about anniversaries. Well, it was roughly 52 years ago that we had the massacre at Kent State University. Our guest on the podcast that will drop later today was there, saw the whole thing, and reminds us why it's just as significant now as it was then. We're radically rational.